You really only need two things to have a good video. The first is good audio, and the thing we're going to talk about today is good lighting. Something I learned years ago from one of my mentors is one light is good. If you can have one dedicated light, that gives you, a leg up on no light, because the cameras can only do so much. If you've got two lights, you're even better. 3 lights, 4 lights. But that's why also a lot of creators like Peter McKinnon and some of them, you'll see them creating these 2 and 3 light setups so that they can separate themselves from their background, so they can do a lot of different things. But I had another company reach out to me and ask me if I would test their lights. They didn't know that I had Amaran and Aperture. They just asked me to test their lights. And so I said, absolutely, I'd love to see if there's a way for me to add to my lighting. The company that reached out is called INKEE, and they have their Gold Crow series of lights. And so this is actually their GC 30 watt light. And then they also have their GC 60 watt light. And I will say that even within this, there's 2 different versions. So this 60 watt light that they sent me is one color. It is pure daylight, and then it's got 12 settings for some other things, and we'll get into that in a minute. But then this 30 watt light that they sent me is more like the Cobb 60XS that I have, where I can control the temperature, I control the intensity, and all kinds of things. So let's just take a look at what all you got. So again, it's a tube. The 30 watt is roughly the size of a soda can as far as height, maybe a little bit bigger. It's kind of a cool little design. It's a little, much different than anything you get from Amaran. Got a tube. Right here is where the fan is. I don't think you can see it in there, but there is a fan in there, but it's actually very quiet. But you've got one of the things that I like about this. Let's go ahead and talk about that. It actually has 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4-inch screw holes to where you can mount this just about any way that you wanted to. It also has this plastic rubbery ring, and that's the control ring. We'll talk about that in a second. But on the back, you have a very small screen right here, and you're able to see the readout and everything. But it also has this little rubber piece that goes in there, and that is a USB-C charging port. It supports 100 watt fast charging, and so that's really nice. On the front, you have your LED. We won't turn that on and burn the R5 out, but you might be looking at this and going, Milledge, there's no Bowens mount. I mean, that is a very small area right there. What's cool about this is it is a foldable light to an extent. So you can unfold these arms to create a standard size Bowens mount. And then on this top one right here is actually a locking mechanism. And it's kind of cool because you can lock it, unlock it, and then when you're done, you just put those 3 arms back together and you're ready to rock and roll, slap this in its bag. So, what else comes with a GC30 or a GC60? Well, for the GC30, what you also get are more of the little rubber protectors for the USB-C mount. You get the stupid little metal ring that nobody really likes because it causes too much of a burn in the middle. And then you also get a USB-A to USB-C, and you do get, here it is. You do get a little drawstring bag with the INKEE name on it. I'm not a fan, honestly, of bags, because if you put this in something, it's going to clang against it. I guess it gives a little bit of protection, but I really would rather have almost a case as well to go with this. But you get a little carry case. Then with the 60 watt, you also get this very Apple-looking charging device. It's got the charging brick with the 100 watt USB-C on the back, and it folds, if I can get it, there it goes, and the prongs fold down. They also fold up, and they send you this, I think this is a European or Asian mount, and it just goes right on there. And now if you are overseas and want to do something, you can charge it, but then you pull that off, pop those down. But then it also comes with a longer USB-C to USB-C cord, so you can actually have this kind of very similar to what I have the 60XS doing right now, where it's plugged into power, so you can have dedicated power. And again, just like the 30, but a little bit bigger, you get the drawstring bag as well. It's a little bit thicker, a little bit longer as well to fit the bigger light, because again, that's your 60, and that's your 30. And then the final piece that I really like that comes with the GC60 is this handle. It's got a little screw on the bottom with a opening there where you can put this onto a light stand. It's got 1/4 inch and another size holes all over 3 sides of this. It's got slots. It's got grooves for your fingers. It's got a little trigger where you can change the angle of the head, and you can screw the light on top. And it's just really nice to have this to elevate the light literally, and then give you some other options of places to mount things. And so the price point that you're looking at for, let's start here with the 30. This is the exact same price as your Amaran Cobb 60XS. It's roughly $200 for the 30-watt light. This particular 60-watt light, this is the, like I said, the one color. It is roughly $250, $260, whereas the one that actually is very similar to that, where you have the range where you can change the temperature, that one's almost $300. So it's very similar to pricing, in my opinion, as Aperture. So now, how do you actually operate these lights with no knobs, no buttons, nothing like that? Well, there's actually a dial here that I pointed out earlier. And what you do is you spin this to the right, and you kind of see it light up there. And right then and there, oof, you get it to turn on. And you can actually have it set at 0. And then you just slowly turn it up. Just like with with Amaran, you can do quick turns and you get it even brighter. So, oh wow, look at that. That's only 55%. 55% right there. Let's go up to 100%. And that is on 2700 Kelvin. So what you can do is by a slight turn, just a half turn, back to the left there, you can go from 2700 Kelvin all the way up to 6500 Kelvin. So really, really bright. And actually, I didn't even get there. So there it is, 6500 Kelvin. And then it'll switch over. And that's a lot bluer than the other. And then again, you can go all the way up from 0 to 100. But something interesting is you can actually take this and spin it even more and get up to 150% of the actual, which I don't understand. How can you have 150%? Why is this not 100? And whoo, that is bright. Oh my gosh. And you can then go down to 120 or whatever, but then back down to 100. So that right there is 100%, and I'm not looking into it, thankfully. But I mean, that is ridiculously bright right there. Holy crap. If you go halfway to the right like that, you can actually go between the different settings. So you've got emergency on 12, the flash photography on 11, SOS on 10, faulty bulb on 9, TV on 8. Then you've got 3 different flashes on 7, 6, and 5, and then 3 more flashes on 4, 3, and 2, and number 1 is just your lights. So a lot of different things that you can do with these lights, including operating on an app. Just like they used to say, there's an app for that. And they actually have the GC Sync app right there in the middle, that orange one. So that's GC Sync, and you just press that, and you're given very, very close to the Sidus link. It looks very similar to what Aperture and Amaran do. And you can easily go in and control the different lights. So just by pressing there, we can go up, and we can go to 5300. We can bring it down. We can go up to 100%, down to 0. I can go to 10% just with one click, nth percent, up 25, 50, 75, 100, back down to 0. Straight to 2700, straight to 6500. Oh, let's see it. You can turn it on and off. All kinds of things that you can do right from the app right here. And even then, you can have both lights on. You can do a master control, all kinds of stuff. And then if you want to turn it off, you just turn it really fast over to the left, and eventually the green bar will go down and it will lock itself and turn off, and you can then store it and be ready to go. So that's the INKEE Gold Crow GC30 and INKEE Gold Crow GC60, 2 really great lights, right on par with the same quality as well as the same price as Aperture and Amaran, just different way of doing it. Something I didn't note that I really like It's got a metal finish to it, so it's, you know, they are going to be able to take a beating, I feel like. But all in all, really impressed with these lights. If you've been paying attention, you may have seen the difference in my lighting at the beginning of this year, because I got these right after Christmas. And it's been a lot of fun to have the 30 as my primary light with the Bowens mounted, what was this again? The Amaran Light Dome Mini SC, and then the grid, and then put the 60 at just like 1 or 2% to give that little bit of, you know, separation from the backdrop. So again, it's really fun that I now have 4 lights that I can kind of mix some things up with. I need to get some more light stands though, because I only have 2 and I only have the 1 light dome, the 1 honeycomb, so I got a little bit of investment more to do still. I'll be sure to link both of these down in the description below if you wish to go check those out. I don't know how closely you pay attention to the descriptions in my videos, but I've been including a new link, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Other creators are doing something like this, and it's a way for you to support the channel. It's Buy Me a Coffee, and if you would like to buy me a coffee, buy me a drink, I will gladly give you a shout out and let you sponsor one of my videos. It's something that I've been really wanting to try, and I'm excited to give it this shot. So if you would like to buy me a coffee, buy me a drink, invest in this channel, I will gladly give you a shout out in one of my next videos, and all you got to do is use the link in the description. But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that maybe you have found out about another brand that is out there trying to do great things like Aperture and Amaran, Suit Photo, Small Rig, and all these other brands. So that again is INKEE and their Gold Crow lights. A lot of fun. I'm really excited about what having the, you know, ability to use 4 lights is going to do for me. Only thing is I now have to get 2 more light stands because I only have 2 of those, and I need to get a couple more soft boxes. Still got to do some investing in my light system, but the options are there and I'm really excited about it. This has been a lot of fun to use these to up my lighting game, and it's just, you know, something new and challenging to learn about and, you know, to dabble more with my lighting. As always, if you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting that like button. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in another video. All right. So we're at 47%, 2%, just off of my equal in my shoulder there. Come out from about a 45-degree angle there. That's a pretty darn good one. And I went up to 4.5. If I go 5, 4.5 or even 4 is not bad. I like the 4.5. 4.5 aperture. So 4K, 30 frames per second, 1/60, 4.5 aperture, 1000 ISO, 47% on the GC30, 2% on the GC60, 5200 Kelvin, sunlight on there. That's a pretty darn good looking image.